Oh my God, that was correct. We're sorted at last. We are sorted at last, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Yeah, absolute technical madness, but we're there. We're here now, regardless. Forget the fact we're nearly 10 minutes late. That's not the point. Complete technical just meltdown happened, and that resulted, well, essentially, when I was doing my prep for this preview, which I do a little bit night before, but then to get everything loaded up, etc., on the day, I'll do it about half an hour before we're set to start. Same happens. I wait until half an hour before to get going into. I have my tea, that kind of thing. Then I think, right, let's go get prepped. Just got to load some tabs up, open some stuff on my PC. That's fine. I was just refining my predicted team a little bit, and so I was trying to renumber some things to get them in the right order and delete Jason Lakilo because he's injured. It just doesn't work. And I'm trying to load up tabs on Google as well to show you, like I do with, the player profiles and all the old games and stuff like that. It just wasn't happening. So I restart my computer thinking, all right, look, it'll only take a minute or so. It'll be all right. By this time, we're at sort of 5 to 7 time. And I think, right, that's fine. There'll still be enough time for me to get everything done. It starts doing updates, and I don't get logged back on my computer until 7 minutes past 7. And at this point, it's too late. So I put a comment in just to let you all know. And as of now, the only thing I haven't managed to get loaded up yet is a memorable match, which I don't think is too bad considering I had 10 minutes to prepare everything. So, yeah, well, we're here now. That's the main. I've not even put a banner on. Let's put a banner on. Here we go. We're going now. Yeah, right. Glenn, how you doing? Jeff, how are you? Yeah, great to see so many people, so many faces at Ferriby as well. And Macca as well, signing for North Ferriby. That's a good one. Jensen, how you doing? Leo, how are you? Offering Jensen to scrap outside Lidl. Oh, wow. Yep, OGJHQ is back online. And it has a new edition of a beautiful tracksuit. Now, I know so few people got them, and I've had to go, because in Umbro stuff, I'm a size medium. And I've grown out of them a little bit now, but when the first Kappa stuff was released, I was still firmly an Umbro size medium. But going to a large, because Kappa is known for being tight, stuff like that, cool. This is an extra large because all they had left, they didn't, like, I tried to order online this morning, but I got errors and all that kind of thing. And I was going to go on my lunch break, but by the time I'd rang up to check they were in the shop, the club had tweeted about them, and then they'd gone. So I thought, right, I ordered myself the tracksuit bottoms, and because I thought I'm not missing out fully. But after college, I'm gonna get on the bus, go down go over to St. Stephen's, and I've just noticed what my hair looks like that. By the way, my God, on this side. Thank God I've got a haircut on Thursday. Yeah, so I go to St. Stephen's and it's just complete potluck, really. I don't expect anything. I expect to go and be disappointed. And there's no larges, but there's some extra large. So I thought, we'll try an extra large on. This is the fit. It's right length in the body. It's a little bit baggy around the arms. You might be able to tell just around there, but that gives off a little bit more 80s feel. And it's not like it's like an oversized dressing gown or onesie where it's like where it's like down here. If it does sit quite nicely around my wrist, and it's not a challenge for it to sit there, which is a good thing. So yeah, very happy. I am going to be a full tracksuit. Naughty word. Yeah, very happy. Very happy with my purchase. Although I did leave my water bottle in the changing rooms in Tiger Leisure in St Stephen's, so that's not ideal, is it? But anyway, Martin, how you doing? Gallagher, how are you? Ashley, good to see you, mate. Is Twine good or bad? Twine is good, but hasn't hit his full potential yet. Got an 84 rated Xavier Simons on the new AAFC. Are you sure that's not Xavi Siemens? You sure? So this jacket cost me that set me back 65. And the bottoms, which I've not got yet, there I'm picking them up tomorrow. They set me back 45. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but hey, it's a worthwhile purchase. It's a worthwhile purchase. Gallagher sliced his thumb when he was at college. That's not ideal. Yeah, I'm not extremely tired for this one. I am full of life and buzzing that I got my tracksuit. Lovely little surprise. I'm just going to never wash it because I don't want that to come off. Hope 2 fan starts tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. They are sick, to be fair. Not surprised they're all gone. Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. They're very, very nice tracksuits. Can't believe I found McVitie's digestives in Poundland. Well, it's not exactly a surprise finding digestives in Poundland, gents, and I'm going to be honest. Finishing my beer off, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Only the first and only one of the evening, Leo. First and only one of the evening. Now, as a man who has failed a driving test, like I can drive, I just can't pass a test. All right, but you'll be fine, mate. Honestly, learning to drive is so fun. It's so fun. You'll notice when you have bad days and you're driving shit and stuff like that. But once you've got it, you very, very rarely have a totally shit driving day. And yeah, once you pass your test, mate, you're away. And I hope I'm there soon. I hope. You tried the coffee then, mate? I don't drink coffee. I'm a hot chocolate kind of guy. But I came straight in, having left my water bottle in Tiger Leisure, and then waited for a bus, having rang my dad and missed my bus, going back to Tiger Leisure to get him one of these, despite him initially slagging it off. As I was crossing the road back from station to St Stephen's, I saw my bus drive past, and I thought, oh well, I was only waiting another sort of 10, 15 minutes for another bus to come along. But yeah, I said to him, he owes me 70 quid instead of 65 because he made me miss my bus because my time is precious. Plymouth fan, how do you feel about the game? Now, Richard, good to hear from you, mate. Hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope, well, we haven't said anything too derogatory about Plymouth yet. We don't typically get to that territory unless it's Leeds or Sheffield Wednesday. So I think you'll be safe sticking around. But what I will say is no one beats Norwich 6-2 if you're a terrible team. So you've quite clearly got a lot going for you. However, didn't you also concede 4 in midweek before that? And I think so. It could be anyone's game. I think it will be very, very open. And Liam Rosenior said, "Look, the pressure's on us. We're 7 unbeaten, and should be 8, but we got robbed on the opening day against Norwich by the referee." So, yeah, it'll be a tough game. I'm expecting a tough game, but I think the form we're in, I don't see us getting anything but a win. Sorry to say that to you, mate, but yeah, I don't see us getting anything but a win. Right, shall we move on to team news where Louis Cole's back in contention? Not contention. He's back in contention, having been forced to miss the 3-1 win over Stoke due to concussion protocol. Jacob Greaves will be unavailable for selection due to suspension for an accumulation of yellow cards. Dokan Sinek, shoulder, and Greg Doherty, knee. They're getting closer. Doc's back in training. Sinek's playing for the 21s now. But they're both absent. What I will say as well about the under 21s, if you can't ever make it to those games, what I'll say to you is get yourself on the To Hull and Back podcast website, because under blogs you can see we can sort by if we search and it lets me search. What kind of filter? Let's refresh. Filter, search. Anyway, you will see my match reports for the under 18s season. Not for the under 18s, for the under 21 season. For that one there, the image hasn't gone on properly, but it was a photo of Dokan Sinek. So if you ever can't make it to a game, you can read my articles on them on thabp.co.uk/blog, and you can filter, I think, by academy if the filter function is working. But as you can see there, when you go on, you can see it's listed under academy. And I am the only one who writes about the academy in a lot of detail. So I hope I can provide a service to you. With the under 21s, we have spotted a gap in the market where there is no real coverage, and we want to fill that. We want to fill that gap. So I hope that I can provide a service to those of you who want it. Okay. Where'd I get the top? Bought this today, mate. Bought this today. They're all gone now, which is a shame. But they've sold out quick because they are so bloody good. Right. Plymouth are great at home and awful. Excuse me. Oh. And awful away. Okay, we'll bear that in mind. And Gallagher, would I have the choice to go to the North Stand. I just choose not to. I love the South. I've sat there for my whole time watching City, and I will never, ever leave. Right then. Okay. Let's move on. Ref watch. The referee. I actually haven't had a chance to properly digest who this is. It's David Webb. 2 liners are Rob Smith and Andrew Dallison. 4th official is Ross Joyce. That right, Joe. We got poor away form, and beating Norwich last week was unbelievable. You'll take a draw. I'd also take a point. Any point in this league is a good point. What happened to Sincere Hall and Glenn Sarney? Haven't heard about him in ages. Sincere Hall, Leo. You'll know why I'm pointing you out, mate. Sin is still at the academy. I believe Sin's starting now. I think I saw Sin in the team for tonight. Bora Eidenlek is playing. Yeah, Sin is starting for the under-21s tonight, so he is still here. Being brutally honest, do I think he'll ever make it at City? No. But he's not a bad little player. His issue is he tries to do too much with it, whereas he could, in situations where he could just shoot, he tries to do too much with the ball. And that's his issue. He's a great technical player, but he does he sometimes does far too much with the ball. Glenn Sarney did not get a pro deal in the summer at the end of his 2-year scholarship. And Glenn is now playing for Bridlington Town, I believe. Yeah. So that's the academy. If you want any more academy information, by the way, just ask me the question. Chances are I'll probably know it because I am a bit of a nerd like that. From stats then, from the Stoke game, possession 50-50. That's a bit of a surprise. Passing as well, quite similar. It looks quite an even game. And to be fair, I don't think the stats for the first 25 minutes are that incorrect. I think once we took that lead with 2 goals in 2 minutes, we really kicked the stuffing out of Stoke. And that meant that they didn't really have anything they didn't have anything left to go at. Although they got the late goal at the end. And I think once we came up for the second half, we were quite comfortably in control. But Stoke had little spells where you could see they're not they're going to be a decent side. But it just didn't quite happen for them. And they'll get there. They will get there. Let's move on to head-to-head then. We're at Plymouth. Callum Burton, former City goalkeeper, is he second or third choice? He's second choice behind Conor Hazard. And in their last game, their back three was Plejuezuelo, if we're going to pronounce it Spanish. Plejuezuelo. Sort of multilingual. Danskar and was it Gibson? Yes, it was. Their wing backs were Joe Edwards, the captain, and of course Barley Mumba. Leo, you've got to show me that painting tomorrow, mate. Their wide players, their midfield first was Jordan Horton and Adam Randall, with their wide players being Morgan Whittaker and who was it? It was Azaz, wasn't it? Finn Azaz, and then up top through the middle, Ryan Hardy. But coming off the bench, Luke Kundle, who did well at Swansea last year. Kane Kessler-Hayden was on loan at, I think, Huddersfield last year. And Stephen Schumacher is not a bad manager at all. Let's move on to current form, where we'll start with Plymouth. Obviously, they had that brilliant win against Norwich last time out. We'll omit the Crystal Palace game because it isn't against Championship opposition. They lost 2-1 to Birmingham away, beat Blackburn at home, lost to Preston away, lost to Bristol City away, and then beat Norwich at home. So their away record doesn't look that bad. Us, 7 unbeaten in our last 5, 2 wins, 3 draws, 2 1-1s, 1 against Bristol City, 1 against Coventry, a 0-0 against Leeds, where we should have had that 1-0, but Adama, listen, he hasn't made up for it. He'll never make up for that, but he's gone some way to trying to put it to the back of fans' mind. 3-1 win against Stoke last time out, and then a 1-0 win against Leicester. So, Thomas says hi. Very nice, very nice. Forgot to ask, thoughts on the Scunny situation, mate? Mad. It's crazy how this guy, and we don't even know his real name, David Hilton, David White, David Jefferson, has so many of you he's used. He bought them, promised loads, left them in a worse financial position now. He's pulling funding than they were in when he took over. They have said they're going to play their games at Gainsborough 15 miles away, but when that statement was made, Gainsborough Trinity weren't made aware of that arrangement. Mad. Look, let's be frank. Scunny and City fans don't get on, right? We dislike Scunthorpe on a football rivalry level. But what we dislike more are terrible owners ruining football clubs, which are the cornerstones of communities. Regardless of whether you like that club or not, football clubs are the cornerstones of community. And football fans can all come together to celebrate the great job that all football clubs do of uniting people from various backgrounds, from all sorts of, be it different races, different sexes, different sexualities. Football is a powerful, powerful game. And no fan deserves to have that club that they hold so dearly ripped away. And parasite charlatan owners like Hilton, like Chancery at Sheffield Wednesday, like the Elams were here, like, what's his name? Bury, before they went under. Southend, they're in a terrible position now. There are so many. And Big Six clubs think they have it hardest, but like Man United, but their squad. They played Brighton the other day, and Man United's right back was worth more than Brighton's entire starting 11 in terms of transfer fees paid. Do you know how mad that is? That's mad. That is crazy. And they think that they've got it so hard, but they haven't. They haven't really. And they've only got to look down the footballing pyramid at what's happened to clubs like Wigan, like Southend, now Scunthorpe, in previous years Grimsby, in previous years Blackpool, in previous years us, to, thankfully, an even smaller extent. Leighton Orient Ashton is a great shout. That Italian guy they had, what was his name? Bassini, Bacchetti, something like that. He was terrible for the football club. And all of those owners have gone, but the fans remain. Bury has been revived. They had a Phoenix club and they found a way to get the original institution of Bury FC back. And that's been a merger. And the fans have got their actual club back. And that's so key. Macclesfield, I've seen auto-generated users say, Bury are back in their original form to some extent. Macclesfield, Phoenix club. But it's a shame that it has to get to the Phoenix club stage. And that these original clubs cannot be saved when they're in such perilous, perilous positions. Look, us fans might dislike Scunthorpe, but I get money is tight. I get money is tight for everyone at the moment. But if it's a cause that runs close to you, and their players and whoever can't be, and their players and backroom staff can't be paid, then there is a GoFundMe out there if you want to chip in. Grimsby's owner has chipped in, which is an absolute class act. I think Adjan should put something in there, but that's his prerogative. And knowing Adjan, I think it's something he will be aware of, because especially because we played Scunthorpe in pre-season. So that's up to Adjan ultimately, but I think I wouldn't put it past him donating, because he is that kind of guy. And it is such a shame that clubs have to put up with such parasite. Like, he got 2 years in prison on 15 counts of fraud. But because the club, but because those charges were over 10 years old, they were spent. No. If you've been done for fraud, you should never, ever, ever own a football club. And it's clear that David, whatever his surname is, White, Hilton, whatever, he's not a fit and proper person. Look at what's happened to them under his stewardship. It's hard. It was hard to have imagined Scunthorpe in a worse position than what they were in when he took over. And he was talking the talk to, build a new ground for them. They bought land in Scunthorpe next to the driving test centre on one of the main roads just off one of the, you come off one of the main sort of country roads in as you go over the Humber Bridge. And they were going to build a new stadium there. Couple of, I think it was a couple of 1,000 acres of land next to the driving test centre. And all for what? That land is going to be, it could potentially be owned by an organisation that doesn't exist, because the possibility of administration and then maybe even liquidation is sadly so high now with the situation they're in, which is a crying shame. And no football fan ever deserves that at all. Anyway, moving on. We've done current form, haven't we? On to the league table, where it's form at the minute still, yeah. But we're fourth. I like it. I very much like it. Leicester with their one little hiccup against us. Ipswich with their one little hiccup as well. Hopefully we can make that 2 in midweek. Leeds have climbed. Norwich have slipped with 3 defeats in 4. Sorry. Plymouth sitting nicely mid-table. Southampton really slipped with 4 defeats in their last 4. At the bottom, Sheff Wednesday, another terribly owned club, dare I say. Chancery saying, I'm not going to fund it because you don't know how to own a football club. I do, and you can't tell me what to do. So until you stop telling me what to do, I'm going to stop putting money in. Yeah, weird. And their matchday ticket prices. To a businessman, how ridiculous, how stupid do you have to be To price a ticket for an adult at £44 and wonder why people don't come. Lower cost of an individual ticket will bring more people in, which will in turn give you higher attendances and raise your revenue. How hard is that to understand? Idiots. Idiots, the lot of them. Absolute idiots. My partner is from Scunny and the dad's a passover for them. I went to watch them away to Oxford. Scunny had Ivan Toney up top, Ryan Yates from Forest in the middle. Yeah, it's so sad to see how it's ended up. For City players like Regan Slater, ex-Scunthorpe, Owen Foster, who was at Scunthorpe and made his professional debut for Scunthorpe last season. Tyrell Sellers-Fleming in the under-21s the same. I can't imagine how they'll be feeling because they've actually played. They've played for the club. And I can't imagine what they'll be thinking now, but yeah, not on at all. Quite simply. Around the grounds on Championship Match Day 9. Kicking off in 5 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday versus Sunderland. Southampton versus Leeds is the early kickoff tomorrow. The rest of the games, 3 o'clock on Saturday until stated otherwise. And they are... Sorry, I've just yawned. They are Bristol City versus Stoke City, Cardiff City versus Rotherham United, Huddersfield Town versus Ipswich Town, Hull City versus Plymouth Argyle, Millwall versus Swansea City, Norwich City versus Birmingham City, Preston North End versus West Bromwich Albion, QPR versus Coventry City, Watford versus Middlesbrough, and on Sunday, the 12 o'clock kickoff is Blackburn Rovers versus Leicester City. Memorable match. There are only 2 matches in my lifetime that I can remember when we played Plymouth. Both of them in our League One season. Both of them we won. Hakeem Delican gave us a 1-0 win on the 3rd of October 2020 in League One. Our team that day was Matty Ingram in goal. Back for Josh Emanuel, Reece Burke, Yori Device and Callum Elder. Midfield 3, Greg Docherty, George Honeyman and Dan Batty. On the right was Hakeem Delican, the goal scorer. On the left, Keane Lewis Potter, and up top, Josh McGuinness. The bench, George Long, the goalkeeper, Louis Coyle, Martin Samuelson, Alfie Jones, Regan Slater, Thomas Mayer, and Callum Jones as well. Former Tiger Will Aimson on the bench for Plymouth that day. And I think he was the only one. Yes, he was, when Ryan Lowe was their manager. And the last time we played them, spoiler alert, this will probably be a memorable match forever. Now, when we play Plymouth, 3-0. This was a significant win in our promotion charge near the end of the season. So Keane Lewis Potter gave us the lead after around about 10 or 11 minutes. Josh McGuinness, 10 minutes and a little bit more after the break, doubled it, and Greg Docherty sealed the deal 15 minutes from time. Our team that day was Matt Ingram in between the posts. At right back, Louis Coyle. He was the skipper that day in Richie Smallwood's absence. 2 centre-halves, Alfie Jones and Jacob Greaves. Callum Elder at left back. I think, can I just say, it's testament to these 3, how for most of this season, as we're pushing for the Premier League now, to start this season off, these guys have been 3 of our back 4. And all of them made their debuts for Hull City in our League One season. I think that's remarkable. Kudos also to Matty Ingram too. Midfield that day, Regan Slater, he's another one for that quality. He was in the Smallwood role, deeper. Honeyman and Docherty running all over the place. Wilkes on the right, Lewis Potter on the left, and McGuinness up top. The bench was George Long, Tom Eaves, Josh Emanuel, Jordan Flores, Dan Crowley, Gavin White, and I've forgotten Sean McLaughlin, number order down there as well. Sean's another one. Wasn't playing for us in League One, and now he's a rock. Brilliant player. And our record against Plymouth, we've won 3 of our last 5 against them, but we can't really take anything from that, really, because, well, we have to go back as far as 2008 for the last 2, for 2 of the last 5 and 2007 before that. So, yeah, the only ones you can really take are these 2. Nice. All that done. Shared shirts now. And just to say, we could here have a plethora of players. We could have Warren Joyce, Sonny Bradley, Callum Burton, Peter Halmosi, Will Ameson. But I've gone for perennial loanee David Stockdale. And he's been on loan everywhere as David Stockdale, and we were one of those clubs. And so were Plymouth. He joined them on loan in 2010 on loan from Fulham. 21 appearances for them in goal. For us, saw us through to our promotion win under Steve Bruce. 24 appearances for us on loan from Fulham in the 2012-13 season. All right. Steve Bruce for shared ties. Very nice. Right then, on to my predicted team as I've just gone out of focus. So, perfect time for a bit of this then, innit? So, by the way, because of the time it's taken to get this sorted, these aren't the positions they're playing. I've just tried to shoehorn them into an 11 as quickly as possible. So, in goal, Ryan Alsop. I think Louis Coyle will come back in at right back and skipper the side. 2 centre-halves, Alfie Jones and Sean McLaughlin. Ruben Vinagre keeps his place at left back. Central midfield, Seri Slater and Tyler Morton. Traore on the right. Like I say, look, these aren't the positions they'll be in. Chances are Traore will be through the middle. Philogene on the right and Slater on the left, like it was last time. But I've just tried to be as efficient as possible in renumbering these. On the left, Philogene, and up top, Aaron Connolly. Bench, Matt Ingram, Ozan Tufan, Aliyah Syed Manesh, Harry Vaughan, Liam Delap, Andy Smith, James Fairlong. They should be the other way around. Scott Twine and Cyrus Christie as well. We're through that. We're through that. And predicted scores, everyone. I'm going to say 2-0 win. Let's see what some of you have got to say. And we finished just in time for you to catch 88 minutes of Sunderland versus Sheffield Wednesday. Auto-generated user. Nothing's up with Delap. He was just tired after the Leeds game, so Liam gave him a rest. And I don't think you can really change a winning team apart from the suspension. Leo, nice, optimistic. 3-2, stoppage time winner. 2-0, 3-1, 3-1. We'll take them. We'll take them. Very nice. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll let you go to watch whatever you want to watch. And I will see you all tomorrow for the Matchday vlog. That's it from me. Goodbye.